By the way, inadvertently, the DOGE people wound up with a little a PR problem. We had heard that the Treasury officials working with the DOGE guys, they could only read it. Well, they accidentally granted, I think on February 5th, one SpaceX engineer the ability to read and write. And so he had the ability to change the federal payment system. It was just one day. He resigned the next day. That's the social media inappropriate comments guy.
Steve Doocy is always the one guy on Fox and Friends' couch that accidentally reports things that the others can't wait to move on from.
Your party, the Republican investigators, say that that's proof of influence peddling by Hunter and James. But that's just your suggestion. You don't actually have any facts to that point. You've got some circumstantial evidence. And the other thing is, of all those names, the one person who didn't profit is there's no evidence that Joe Biden did anything illegally. Well, Dr. Oz's biggest problem was he was running for a Senate seat in Pennsylvania. He lived in New Jersey. I know he had a family home there, but that was the rap, and that is exactly how they beat.
See if Dave McCormick has better luck.
They're always like, yo, shut the f up. We have to get back to distracting our audience and promoting Donald Trump and Elon Musk based on absolutely no merit. You know, that's why they have Brian Kilmeade.
Why does the media have such a hard time believing that two powerful, successful, handsome men could work together with one objective? It's happened before, and America accepted it. Remember, for example, Lethal Weapon? 4 separate times. Mel Gibson, Danny Glover. Watch.
So while Elon and his racist buddies had the ability to secretly alter the federal payment system while getting a pass from J.D. Vance for posting their desire for eugenics and call it just some stupid comments, Brian Kilmeade and them are paid to keep their loyal audience daydreaming about Mel Gibson's bigoted ass. That instead of they're checking their pockets.
Versus outrage about some of the stuff that they're uncovering.
Yeah, I think my outrage is about who they're hurting. Again, I don't care about the bromance. Who cares about the bromance? I don't like letting unelected officials, post. Yesterday, the DOGE guys post classified information on their website, and they had to realize, oh, we didn't realize that agency was a classified agency. You shouldn't let people run rampage through offices that have classified information. And again, I view this in Virginia from the perspective of we're a veteran-heavy state. There's a war on veterans. When they're slashing in the VA, and when 30% of the federal workforce is veterans, compared to like 2 to 3% of the civilian workforce, you do indiscriminate cuts. I'll tell you, it hurts. It hurts veterans.
It's a nonstop cycle of disinformation and distraction, specifically crafted to make heroes out of the guys robbing the country blind, so that MAGA will defend them against actions they'd pull their hair out over as long as it's not Trump or Elon doing it. An unelected and unaccomplished billionaire with a God complex and billions of dollars worth of conflicts of interest in the things that he's baselessly claiming to be saving, having access to the country's classified information? Well, that sounds good to MAGA, because he pinky swears that he's doing the right thing. But what about the $55 that poor elderly person is getting from programs that they paid into?
Mr. Talcove, do you know how much money a day Mr. Musk will receive from the federal government for his contracts?
No.
The answer is $8 million a day. Just last year, Elon Musk was promised $3 billion from close to 100 contracts with the federal government. Ms. Royal, do you know how much the average person in this country who survives on Social Security, one of our seniors who's worked their entire life, about how much they have to survive on a day?
I do not.
$65 a day. We're not looking into Elon Musk's $8 million a day. This subcommittee, chaired by Marjorie Taylor Greene and the House Republicans, is looking into your grandmother's $65 a day.
They're robbing you while you kick your grandmother's walker out from under her hands. And your favorite Republican that railed on overspending celebrates Donald Trump spending a couple $1 million on a trip to the Daytona 500. All while red states flood and people die without even a mention. Owning the libs sure is getting expensive.
Donald Trump has 2 Republican houses. He's got a budget discussion that, has to have a resolution by March 14. Why isn't he getting the Republican leaders down in the White House and saying, here's what we're going to do? He's making all these cuts without them because he doesn't even think the Republican leadership will go along with him. Bill Clinton did things to shrink the size of government, and he did it with Congress. There's a difference between that and ignoring Congress and violating the law.
But the executive branch does have a lot of authority and purview over things that are within the executive branch and decisions about money and how it's dispersed. I mean, that is part of the president's authority.
The president has authority, but the president also has to follow the law. There's this law that you know, the Impoundment Act, that says once Congress has appropriated dollars for a particular purpose, the president is not allowed to say, yeah, I don't like that. I'm going to spend this money, but not that money. The president needs to follow the law.
You know, this voting base has to be some of the dumbest assholes that this country's ever seen. Now, another one of the Fox and Friends newsreaders that's been given the simple task of tricking the audience into thinking all of Musk's fake instances of fraud and waste makes up things daily about where the money that they're preparing to pocket would be going to keep them pacified.
And we got a tracker now, because I know it's hard to keep up with this. You can see at the bottom of your screen, there's a little ticker right there. It's telling you the initiative that are being cut.
Can we put that forward?
And it's showing you per taxpayer how much money you're going to be saving. So every time they hold, and it's going to go up throughout the day because they're going to uncover more as they go department to department. Every single day there is a protest. This is what they're preventing from you, the taxpayer, how much more money you would have in your pocket.
You notice that Lawrence Jones never said anything about how all the supposed savings that, again, Elon Musk has not proven to include fraud, waste, and abuse to the tune that he's claiming, you know, how that money will somehow make it to their gullible viewers' pockets. They definitely can't claim that Trump tax cuts will do them any good, considering the first round unequivocally went to the rich. You know, but don't pay any attention to that reality, because Elon Musk and Donald Trump are like Martin Riggs and Roger Murtaugh. You know, for real, you know, this shit is like telling toddlers that as long as they're good, Santa will bring something great and put it under the tree. Or better yet, the fairy tale that he's too rich to care about collecting and hoarding hundreds of billions of dollars. I mean, it's not like he's ever done that before.
So immediately I flip around and I say, who's pro-fraud? They go, well, he says this, but where's the proof? Like he'd sit there with his son, giving up his free time, sleep in the Eisenhower building on a cot in order to make up things about Social Security.
He's going to steal everybody's money. He has $400 billion. I'm telling you, he's not going to steal your money. I'm telling you, that's not what he's doing. What he's doing is he's a super genius that's been f***ed with, okay? And when you've been f***ed with by these nitwits that hide behind three-letter agencies, and you're dealing with one of the smartest people alive, and he helps Donald Trump get into office, and he goes, I want to find out what kind of corruption is really around. Well, you f***ed up. You f***ed up and picked the wrong psychopath on the spectrum, because he's going to hunt you down. He's going to find out what's going on, and that's good. That's good for everybody. That's how you should be looking at this. Like, wow, we have a brilliant mind that is examining these really corrupt and goofy systems and bringing in a bunch of psychopath wizards.